Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode. I wanted to focus this one on some ins and outs of the new year that are personal to me. I believe that any in and out list should be dictated by the truth within you. So if you're looking at my in and out list and you're like, that's not an out for me, that's an in for me, that is the beauty of knowing what is for you and what is not for you. And we always need to consume content from that lens. So this is by no means what I'm saying is for anyone else. These are just things I'm sharing that have really been working for me. And maybe there's something you take as inspiration and you leave the rest. So I want to start with the first in. The first in for 2025 is finding validation within yourself, and the out is looking for outside validation. We are all so unique, and we all come with this precious power of being ourselves, this essence of being who we truly are at the core. And gone are the days where we need validation from anyone other than ourselves. So in 2025, we are going to find all of that within ourselves. And in moments we're going to doubt ourselves, we're going to come back to affirmations, to the moments where we felt so in our power. We're going to remember that feeling and we're going to bring it in when the doubts come, because the doubts are inevitable. And we will embody it based off of the memory. And that will remind us of our power. So that is my first in and out of 2025. My next one, faith over fear. Faith is in, fear is out. There is so much to fear if we choose to look that way. And we can look at our phones, the news, even individual instances in our life. There can always be a focus on fear. With that, there can always be a focus on faith. Wherever fear is present, there is a thought of faith that can be brought in. Both of them can be considered imaginary, not yet what we're living and experiencing. So why wouldn't we choose to lean into the faith of what we want to bring in, of what we want to manifest, rather than what we don't? In that moment, we're going to feel better, we're going to feel more expansive, and we're actually going to help the law of the universe, the law of attraction, to go to work for us rather than against us. So in 2025, we are bringing in the energy of faith and we are releasing the energy of fear. And anytime fear comes in, we're going to remind ourselves that anytime fear is present, faith can override it and be present too. And choose the thought of faith over the thought of fear. The next one is protein. And I feel so cliche saying this because I've been hearing forever all these people talk about protein. Vinny's been talking about protein for so damn long. I need more protein. I need more protein. I needed to come to my own terms in my own time to realize I needed more protein. So I started eating a lot more protein this past year. And I'm taking that into 2025 because honestly, what it has done for me is helped me to eat 3 big meals, feel very satisfied, and my cravings stopped. Like I used to be like a grazer and I would overeat snacks and like I would be left just feeling like, ugh, why did I do that? And the more protein I started to eat, the more I've realized it really satiates me, it really satisfies me. And it's feeling really good in my body right now. So for me, I'm bringing in more protein for 2025, less of the snacking and like the eating all day just to eat. I notice on the days that I have 3 full meals with a decent amount of protein in them, it's a completely different experience. I feel different. I have more energy. I'm more focused. I have less of a crash. I just overall feel really good. So again, for me, 2025, more protein, less of the snacking. Another in for 2025 is sourdough bread, homemade or from a cute little bakery in town, which I gratefully have down the block for me. And out is like the packaged store-bought bread. I really want to start making sourdough I don't know. Like, I'm just committing to cooking things. I shared in the other episode, I'm just starting to cook. I don't know if I could take on baking sourdough yet. I kind of have to learn more about the process, but it is a game changer once you start eating sourdough bread. That is homemade. I have a friend that drops me off sometimes. Shout out, Alessandra. I love you. It's so good. But like overall, I just think there's this movement of eating basic, clean, simple, whole foods that are home cooked. And I think we're definitely bringing that in for 2025. And an out for me is convenience. So whether it's store bought or Grubhub or Uber Eats, even if it's a healthy choice, I just know it will be healthier if I cook it myself at my house. And convenience does not equal health. I think anytime something's super convenient, I ask myself, like, actually, is this taking away from my vitality and health? And if it is, that's where I'm maneuvering. So that's definitely an out for me. And the in is bringing in more wholesome, home cooked meals. Another in, of course, is meditation, spirituality. We have the nodes right now, the South Node in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces, which is reflective of my nodes. I have my South in Virgo and my North in Pisces. And how I see this is honoring the physicality, the physical aspect of being human, and moving towards that North Node of opening up spiritually. So I think all of the spiritual things, all the meditation practices, we're just going to see that come online more and more and more. And with that, what I think is going out is more of the numbing, the more escapism. We see the rise of connection, community, coming together and talking about energy and meditation and spirituality and all these things. And moving out, I think, are the things that would separate us or the things that would numb us or kind of dull all of our senses, taking them offline. We're bringing it all on. So that's my next in and out for 2025. Another one would be more mocktail alternatives, more people becoming sober curious, and less of the abundance of overdoing it with alcohol or substances. And I hope and I pray that, of course, for people who feel like it has a power over them, I think collectively we can kind of make this move of using the tools and resources that we have to be able to feel comfortable in who we are without anything other than just being us. We have a lot of brands that are coming online, like Seed Lips is a really cool brand. It's a non-alcoholic drink, non-alcoholic wines. And I think we're just going to see more and more of that, more people getting comfortable with not drinking and being completely okay with it and feeling comfortable with it as we move into 2025. Another thing is this aspect of community. So we're in the age of Aquarius, and it kind of has this duality of community and also technology. Those are two really big themes of Aquarius. And I think despite having technological advances, people are going to continue to crave activations, coming together in community. And you might see like so many brands are doing these community events. So they used to just sell products, brands, and now it's all about like bringing community together around their product and having an experience and connecting with one another. And I just think that's so beautiful and such a theme of the age of Aquarius. We've waited for this time for so long. So I think more connection and a lot less isolation. And that leads to more compassion and less separation. I also think an in for 2025 is let's start with the in, not the out. The in is the ability to hold two truths, the ability to look around and say, this is my opinion, that's their opinion. Can it both on some wavelength be right? Can they both simultaneously live and exist even if they are so different? Can I respect the other person who has a completely different opinion than me and try to lead with more empathy rather than judgment? And I think we're going to continue to see a lot of that in 2025. And for the out, I think it's less of cancel culture, less censoring, less I'm right, you're wrong, less left versus right, and more understanding and compassion. We can only pray for that. But I do see that happening. I also think an in is red light therapy. I can't tell you how many people have been DMing me every time I'm using red light. I think a lot more of those biohacking or health enhancing devices or technologies, we're going to see a lot more people using them and just being more conscious about what we're doing for our health and how to continuously benefit ourselves in our health. And with that, I think an out is just believing that what we consume isn't impacting us. I'm working on this with Vinny. Like, this is like a pain point for me. But like every single thing, I think Dr. Hyman or Will Cole, I love them both. One of them has said, I think it's Will Cole, who has said, everything that you consume is either helping encourage vitality or possibly disease. And really understanding that we have so much power within ourselves to gain the power back over our health through our choices. So I see that, not thinking things impact us as an out, and an in really gaining power and feeling empowered over our health. I also think an in for the next few years is more farm to table, more people growing their own fruits and vegetables at home, even having like a farm that they get their protein, their animal-based protein from, their meat from, kind of like shared farm community aspects of getting food. And the out, again, is like that convenience culture of just like going to the store and grabbing whatever's there. So these are some of the ins and outs that I'm seeing, that I'm personally experiencing. And I would love to hear from you guys. You can let me know on the Instagram teaser for this episode what your ins and outs are, or like your number one in and out for this year. I would love it if you'd let me know there. But these were some things top of mind, and we're living through such an exciting time. Don't forget that. It can be a really tiring, exhausting, and stressful time where we feel like we're holding a lot of space for the planet and the people on the planet and for one another. But at the same time, there is a really, really, really big shift happening on Earth. And I believe we chose to be here for it. So I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode and you want to share it with anyone, feel free to share it. Rate and review if it speaks to you. And I can't wait to see you next time. Sat Nam.